Let us define customer journey analytics by starting with the problem it solves. IST Retail has email campaigns, a website, a mobile app, support conversations, store purchases, and returns. A shopper may click an email, browse a product, abandon the cart, ask support a question, come back on mobile, and purchase later. The business asks a simple question: where are we losing shoppers and what happens next? That sounds simple, but the data is split across systems. Customer Journey Analytics is Adobe's answer to that problem. In simple terms, it helps teams analyze the customer journey across datasets, not just inside one channel. Here is the simplest definition. Customer Journey Analytics lets you use Analysis Workspace with data from Adobe Experience Platform. That sentence matters. Analysis Workspace is the familiar analyst interface. Tables, panels, visualizations, dimensions, metrics, segments, and date ranges. Adobe Experience Platform is the data foundation. It can hold different kinds of customer experience data through schemas and datasets. CJA connects those two worlds. It says, take platform data, decide what should be available for analysis, decide how it should behave in reporting, and let analysts work with it in Workspace. For beginners, keep this mental model in your head. Experience platform datasets go into a CJA connection. The connection feeds a data view. The data view feeds Analysis Workspace. That is the spine of the product. A dataset is your source material: web events, mobile events, CRM records, support cases, store transactions, product usage, or lookup data. A connection decides which datasets CJA can use. A data view decides how fields become dimensions and metrics. Workspace is where analysts ask questions and build the analysis. If you remember one diagram from this lesson, remember this one. Why does this matter? Because important business questions are rarely single channel questions. If someone abandons a cart on mobile, contacts support, and later buys in store, where did the friction happen? If a campaign drives store visits instead of online orders, is it working or not? If support contact happens after failed checkout, is support saving the sale or exposing a broken flow? These questions are hard when every system only reports its own slice. CJA is useful because it gives teams a way to analyze the path across slices, as long as the data and identity strategy support it. Now, just as important, what is CJA not? CJA is not a magic tool that fixes messy data. If events are inconsistent, if timestamps are missing, or if identifiers do not line up, the analysis will still be weak. CJA is also not the same thing as real-time customer profile. Profile supports profile and audience use cases. CJA is focused on analysis. And CJA is not only a dashboard builder. Workspace is where reports happen, but the real value comes from the model behind those reports. The chart is the end of the story, not the beginning. Let us make the IST retail example concrete. A shopper clicks an email, lands on the website, views a product, adds it to cart, and leaves. Later, they return on mobile. Then they ask support about delivery. After that, they purchase in-store. A week later, they return one item. In a web report, you might only see the product view and abandonment. In a support report, you might only see the question. In a store report, you might only see the purchase. In CJA, the goal is to analyze those steps as one journey. Not because everything is automatically perfect, but because the datasets can be modeled, connected, and interpreted for cross-channel analysis. So here is the takeaway. Customer Journey Analytics is best understood as a journey analysis layer on top of Experience Platform data, using Analysis Workspace as the analyst interface. The beginner model is simple. Datasets feed a connection, the connection feeds a data view, and the data view feeds Workspace. Workspace is where you turn customer journey questions into evidence. If someone asks, what is CJA? Do not start with features. Start with the spine: platform datasets, connection, data view, workspace. In the next lesson, we will compare customer journey analytics with traditional Adobe analytics. That comparison matters because some parts feel familiar and some parts are very different. Once you understand the spine from this lesson, the comparison becomes much easier. You're not just asking which tool has which feature. You're asking what data model the analysis depends on and what kind of journey question the business is trying to answer.